Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now it's time for your weekend tech tip, brought to you by Chevy Silverado.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much again for joining us this morning, and big thanks for Eric Winther spending some time with us this morning and throughout that Pike Mineral Reward Program. 107 grand. That's pretty good. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, wood duck calls. Now, I've always been really weird about duck calls and, you know, what I use, because duck hunters and duck stuff it's kind of a strange thing. And if you're a duck hunter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, well, then bear with us, because we're going to talk some fishing stuff in just a little bit. That's how I keep you on. But wood duck calls, okay, are very, very finicky, right? Now, you could get a wood duck call and just use the thing every few times a year and just throw it into the closet and not worry about it, and you'd probably be fine. But if you're like myself and you hunt daily and you're using a wood duck call, they're very, very finicky. You absolutely have to take the time to take care of it, all right? Now, what I've got here, this is an Iverson, all right? This is listen, everybody's got their own perspective of calls. This is my perspective, so let's just keep it real here. It's the best wood duck call on the planet, okay? I'm just gonna throw it out there to you. There's a reason why I only carry one mallard call on my lanyard, because I can literally do every sound, every tone, every sequence that I need to hunt mallards with this call. That is not capable with this call here. For instance, this is an acrylic zinc call, the Nothing But Green. Great call, okay? Single reed, so it's got a lot of versatility, a lot of volume, a lot of ways that you can manipulate the sound, but nothing like a wood call. There's literally nothing that this, listen, maybe I'm stressing that too far. An acrylic call is extremely capable, very, very good call. You will turn the head of many ducks with an acrylic call, no question. But there's nothing that sounds more natural than a wood call. It's just that simple. There is no other way to put it. Again, it's just that simple. Now, sometimes you're going to have calls that are out there with acrylic barrels, but wood inserts, right? Now, this is going to apply to that as well. Anytime that you're manipulating wood or using wood, you have simply got to take care of it. And here's how I do it, all right? Number one, with this particular call, it uses corks. Okay, so there's one, and I always keep two, and they're always in water, okay? Every single time I come back home from hunting, the corks go into the water, because I need to keep them swollen, right? I need to keep those corks swollen so that when the reed is actually vibrating against the soundboard, that it's actually working correctly, that it's tight enough, right? That the reed isn't just flopping around, which is going to screw up your tone. It's going to make your sound, well, not right. Now, will ducks still work to it? Maybe. But if you're really trying to work on that one bird, that one duck out of a group, again, if you're a duck hunter, you know what I'm talking about. You can have a group of mallards 15, 20 deep or more, and you get that one to teeter just right because of what you did, and you'll know when you're calling long enough, and you can manipulate that particular duck to move the entire group to you, you just won the game. And that's the best game in the world to me. Matter of fact, it just gave me goosebumps just picturing it in my head. And it's your call that will do it. Now, let's get this straight too, right? There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules when you're talking about duck hunting. Number one, out of the three most important things, location, okay? Then your hide, that would be your blind. If they can see you, you're done, okay? So location, hide, and then the third one's kind of arguable. It's always been decoys. Myself, I think it's calling and then decoys, maybe a 50-50 split there, whatever. But when you can get to the point where you can utilize your mallard duck call correctly, you will be better at it. And if you let your call go bad, well, that's on you. Here's how you take care of this call. Number one, oil, okay? This oil is called Jack's Magic Oil. It's nothing fancy. It's just a product that was produced by Emery over there at Iverson. It's linseed oil, and I believe it's mixed with something else. And you can actually find different oil mixtures, but they're all going to be based on linseed oil, okay? Now, this call gets oil every single time I come home. It doesn't matter how much I used it at all. I mean, it gets oiled every single time. And that's mainly on the soundboard, because if you don't, this will get dirty. It'll have gunk on it from your spit and utilizing it, and your reed will start to stick. Okay. Also, if you don't oil it enough, once it swells, okay, with water and rain and spit in there, once it swells, you're going to get high spots in the soundboard, and that will change how your call sounds. Trust me, this is all through years and years and years and years and years of playing with one of these things. So the call gets taken apart after every day. The reed and cork come out and get into water every single day. There's no changing that at all. Every other day, I'll take and put a little bit of the oil on the soundboard. I'll use a Q-tip and just oil that thing, just kind of spread it around, and I'll leave it on there overnight, okay? I will not take it off. I let that oil sit on it. Also, every few times, I'll take and oil the barrel. I'll actually take the Q-tip, soak it in the oil, and just run it all the way up in there and leave that oil in it. And then, when I come back out next morning, whatever it is, I'll take my towel that I always keep next to it. I'll wipe the oil off. I'll wipe the oil off out of the inside of the barrel and then off of the soundboard of the insert. And then I'll assemble everything back together with a swollen cork and the reed, of course, that goes with it. Now, here's the thing about acrylic calls. No maintenance, okay? Keep that in mind. No maintenance. You ain't got to do nothing. Just make sure that it's tuned correctly and you're good to go. They don't use corks. They use actual rubber. They're very easy to maintain. I would say that an acrylic call is something that I'm not going to say a beginner's call, but all the people that I know that are on the upper echelon of callers and been doing it for a long time, every one of them use wood duck call. Now, they might have an acrylic on their lanyard for different reasons, different purposes, but with this particular call, there is no range that you cannot hit if it's taken care of correctly and you understand and know how to use it correctly. So oil it, take it apart, get it apart after every use. It doesn't matter what you do with it, and keep that cork swollen and get yourself some oil to take care of it. That call will last you forever. This is a 25-year-old call, and I get a chance to hunt a lot. It takes the maintenance in order to do it. Anyway, all right, when we come back, we're going to talk about what I think is the perfect steelhead setup. It's pretty badass. I'm just going to throw it out to you that way. We'll be right back.